Boeing releasing an updated safety and quality plan nearly 1 year after that door plug blew out on an Alaskan Airlines flight. Boeing's plan focuses on 4 areas: investing in workforce training, simplifying plans and processes, eliminating defects, and elevating safety and quality culture. Boeing says it continues to cooperate with the National Transportation Safety Board and the FAA in their investigations of that Alaska Airlines flight, which again we are approaching the 1-year anniversary of. You can see off the back of this news, the stock down just about 0.4%. I think it's really interesting to point to some of these quality checks that Boeing is announcing today, Brad, because this is something that obviously was at the top of Kelly Ortberg's to-do list when he came in as the new CEO. And the culture around flagging safety concerns is something he talked about as a key importance early on, and the idea of not creating a culture of punishment for whistleblowers that do come forward. I'm going to be interested to see how successful they can be in changing that culture. That's a really big shift that has to happen when he's kind of new to the job.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's going to be a massive shift that needs to take place here, considering some of those whistleblowers, unfortunately, have been found, some of them dead, after they were ready to come forward with some of the complaints here, whether that it's, at certain points in the production. At the end of the day, this is, and one of the things that I was thinking about more broadly coming into this and the anniversary of this is that it's now what's old is new again, and that when the Boeing 737 MAX first had its issues, Trump was in office, and Trump was very, very vocal about what Boeing would need to do thereafter. He even talked about, hey, just scrapping the name entirely and rebranding it. We'll see what Boeing has to do ultimately to make sure that they're able to not just get back in the good graces of the manufacturing and making sure that they're also bringing on Spirit Aerosystems and integrating that so that they see the efficiencies that are necessary by bringing that back under their own manufacturing realm, but also that the airline customers are confident enough to place large orders for years out from now that won't be delivered upon for several years, maybe even a decade, because of the backlog that is now stacked up as well here. So it's both on the airline purchaser side, but also on the customer and the flying public side too, because the airlines are going to take perhaps some of their cues from those customers. And we've had, of course, some of the CEOs who have a more outsized exposure to the Boeing 737 MAX, like a Bob Jordan over at Southwest Airlines. We've had them on to discuss, and many of them are confident in Kelly Ortberg. So this is going to be a critical, I think, next 2 quarters here are key for Boeing and really telling the street and analysts, but also their core customers, that there's been a major shift here.
Really great point too, Brad, in terms of the executive search story there. That was such a huge thing that we were looking at, and I know that you've talked to a lot of the airline CEOs, so hearing them echo that confidence is really key here as we take a look at Boeing and they start to kind of measure out the quality check success moving forward in their factories.